live, and I'm coming to you from a very rainy Minnesota this morning. So as you pop in, let me know that you're watching and let me know where you're watching from. I already see Debbie. Good morning. Good morning, Paula. So it's good to see you guys this morning. Like I said, it's super rainy here in Minnesota. I know other parts of the country, it's been a lot of rain going on, a lot of storms going on. But we just went on vacation and drove across the country. You guys know we like to go down to Florida and drove. We pretty much had good weather most of our trip, and driving back, we got lots of rain right at the end. And in fact, that last day of driving with that camper, it rained all day. And it was one of those things, you guys know, driving in the rain it's tiring. It's really tiring. It's good to see you guys pop in. Good morning, Joan from Indiana. Good morning, Kat. Good morning, Mindy. Good morning, Rachel. It's good to see you guys this morning. Good. Oh, Lauren says it's sunny in British Columbia, Canada. Good morning, Karen from Illinois. It's good to see you guys this morning. Mary, good morning from Washington State. Yes. Good morning, Kelly from Tennessee. Good morning, Debbie from South Dakota. It's good to see all of you. I was gone for a couple of weeks, so it's good to be back and back at my craft area and my craft desk, and there's been a lot of catch-up crafting going on this week. So, yay! Good morning, Deb from Illinois. Good morning, Paula from Louisiana. You guys are zipping by super fast. So, Christy from Nisswa, you're just a little bit north of me. Good morning, Debbie. Yes, we had a safe trip and we had a good trip. So yeah, it's super fun, you guys. I've talked about how our family really, really loves Disney, and we love to camp. So we actually drive our camper across the country and camp in Disney's campground. Yes, they have a campground, and we have a lot of fun. We rent a golf cart and we zip around the campground. We love to look at all of everybody's campers there. Yeah. Oh, Jennifer, you met Hannah at Crafts Direct last Friday. Yes. I don't know if you guys have heard. That's my local craft store, and they are closing, and it is so sad. It is so sad. They have been in the community for a very, very long time. I believe it's over 30 years, and big part of my life and the community's life. They've raised a lot of money for the community. There's been a lot of community things there, and they are going to be done. So Hannah's heartbroken. She has to find another job. They're still doing all the sales until they close, so she'll still be there till that closes. But I'm gonna be sad. I mean, we have our other big box stores, but nothing can replace. This was a family-owned store. It is a family-owned store, and I mean, I knew the people, so it'll be definitely a sad thing to see that go, and it makes me sad because there's nothing like that in-person thing, and I think you guys know that if you've ever been to like the TE studio or to one of our in-person events. I love online because it can connect us in so many great ways with people we would have never met otherwise. But, you know, when it comes down to it, meeting people face-to-face is really, really fun, and being able to teach in person is really, really fun too. So it makes me sad, but support the places that are near you, that you know of, whether it's ordering online or visiting in person, so that we can keep some of these stores that are left afloat, because there is something about being in a store for sure. So yes, it's good to see all of you this morning. So let's talk about what's going on at Taylor Expressions Land this week. The new kit, the Alphabets kit, debuted on Tuesday, and if you wanted to watch videos on that, there is one on our YouTube channel and our blog from Taylor, and then Taylor did a live on Tuesday. I got word this morning that the kit sold out early this morning, so it is no longer available to purchase, unfortunately. But all of you that ordered are waiting for your kits to come. It's such a fun kit. I actually have one sample to show you today with the kit. It's kind of goes along with the project that we're going to create today, but we're not going to create with the kit. So I'll show it to you for all of you have that kit coming, so you get a little bit of extra inspiration for yourself. And then if you don't have the kit, hopefully you'll find some inspiration with the project that I'm sharing today. So, like I said, you can look at the stuff on our social media and the videos that we have if you want some more inspiration for the kit, but the kit is sold out right now. So there's hope. I hope we release this one. This alphabet is awesome, and so time will tell, you guys, and we'll see what happens. So yes, What else is going on? Well, let's talk about next week, because next week we have a release coming. We just did a release that celebrated the women in our life, and now we are going to do a release to celebrate the men in our life. So we have things that are maybe geared more towards men and that sort of thing, more of a masculine theme, but they are products that you can use for all sorts of other things too. Just like in the For Her release with the gardening and the cooking, that's not just for the women in our lives. There's a lot of women that love all of that stuff, which is why we put it together. But I mean, you can do cooking cards for anybody. And same with what's coming out next week. There's some really fun themes coming. I think you're going to love it. I do have one sneak peek for you today because I got back from my trip on Sunday, so I didn't have a ton of time to create, but I do have one card to share. And my card actually has a lot of things you will recognize on it, but there is one piece of this card that is brand new. So I will show this to you. So check it out. So the leaves, yes, the leaves are familiar. Let me move in front of the camera. But that background is new. So that is going to be debuting next week. And if you follow our social media, so our Instagram and our Facebook page, Charlie will be posting all of the peaks. You know, we don't spare anything anymore. We give you all of the tea over the weekend. So you're going to see the new products that are coming out. You're going to see sneak peeks from projects from the design team. They'll pop up on the blog this weekend. So make sure that you are following us if you want to get all of the tea. So yes, that is what that is. So I see you guys all popping in. I see sunny places. I see rainy places. Yes. I think we've got a good mix across the country right now. Let's just keep it calm though. Like the storms can just calm down, right? That's what I think. So, all right. So today we are going to do a project. Like I said, one of my samples that I'm going to show you shares a little bit that I did with the kit, but we're going to do a project that falls into this month's TE Maker Challenge because May 1st was yesterday, which means we have a new TE Maker Challenge happening this month. And this month the theme is mini slim cards, which I really like the format of mini slim cards. There's all sorts of card formats out there. And when Taylor introduced this, it was kind of around the time that the slimline cards were out, where they're kind of the long rectangular cards, and maybe not that long, maybe more like this. And it's a cool size to work in, but it's a big space to work in. So the mini slim gives you that kind of rectangular format, but on a little bit smaller level. The finished size of the card is about 3.5 inches by 6 inches, which is a great size to work on. It's a smaller size and it's not as, I don't know, it seems easier to fill the space. So I've really enjoyed that. We have all sorts of products that coordinate with mini slim, and we've been doing more and more with like backgrounds and stencils and things like that to make sure that you can use our products not only on A2 cards, but on mini slim cards as well. So Jamie says mini slim is her favorite. Yes, mini slim is, I really like that mini slim size, and I try to mix it in quite a bit. And I love the envelopes. The envelopes I think I'm an envelope and stationery nerd, you guys. I always have been. And so I actually have like bins and drawers of envelopes in all different sizes. It's something I've collected forever, but I just really like this size of envelope. This is the mini slim size, and it's just a great size. And these, you can do just regular postage on these. There's no extra postage required for the mini slim size. Unless you make your card chunky, then, you know, you got to follow the post office rules. I don't make the rules, and you make your card, you have to follow the post office rules. That's all I'm saying. So I love the envelopes. They're very fun, and I just really love the size. So let's pop up the TE Maker Challenge graphics so you can get all of the details. So you have to use at least one Tailored Expressions product. You can create 3 cards to share. You just have to make sure that you have that hashtag TE Maker Challenge included in your description of the project. And I think you can post it it's in the Fans of Tailored Expressions Facebook page. That's where you need to put it. And the little graphic down on the bottom shows you the the different formats of mini slim cards we have. The side fold, the top fold, the tri-fold, whichever kind of mini slim card you want to make, you can do. And I'm excited to see what you all create. That's one of the things that we all love to do is we love to scroll through that Fans of Tailored Expressions Facebook page and see your projects, because I love to see, you know, when I design products and things like that, I love to see what you create with them. When I do a live and you guys start making projects that were inspired by what I create on the live, I get super excited. So I don't always have time to comment and everything, but believe me, I am watching and I see all of them. So yeah, so let's get creating, and I'm going to share what we are creating today. And there's a theme today for sure. I'm sure, like me, many of you are starting to receive those graduation announcements in the mail, right? And it's always a surprise every year of how many and which kids are graduating. It's just, I try to predict, I think we only have a couple, and then we get like a whole slew of them that come in. So I've started putting them on my little card display that I have upstairs, and they are still, I know they're still coming in. So let me flip you down and I'll show you what we're going to be making today. Okay, so like I said, we're going to do that mini slim theme. But let me go ahead and show you, this is inspiration for those of you that have ordered the kit. So Mini Slim is great with this kit because you can use it to do a little bit longer words. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 letters in congrats on here. And obviously I have some borders and things like that. So, I mean, you can squeeze a fairly large word onto a Mini Slim card. So just to take a look at what I did there, I embossed the stars from the little pattern stamp that is in, not little, it's a big pattern stamp in the set, with clear on black to get that kind of fun tone on tone look. And then I added a additional letter in Cherry Pop behind to create the shadow of the letter, which also creates a little dimension on the card. And then the background, which we will be doing the background today, is with the Grad cap layering stencil set. So, and then this little sentiment is from the Mini Slim Grad set. So we are going to do it with this congratulations, and this congratulations is from the All the Way Congrats set. So there's a congrats and a congratulations, and that congratulations is awesome on a Mini Slim card. So they're both in there. You can also get the coordinating dies. It's great. So yes. You guys, and we start now, we have a graduation tomorrow, actually. My daughter's boyfriend is graduating from St. Cloud State. So while I did my cards with the red and the black, you can coordinate and do your cards to match school colors of whichever grad you're celebrating. You could just do something general, like maybe instead of the red, do a gold or a gray or something like that. Like I said, I just did the red and the black because that is St. Cloud State's colors. So I want to make sure that I match those colors. So, all right, so we're going to get stenciling first. There's both those cards, and there'll be a picture of them up. I didn't do my color card mainly because it's really just red and black and silver, and maybe you're going to do a different color combination when you create graduation cards. Okay. So let's take a look at the Grad Cap layering stencil set. We've got 3 stencils in the set, and we have the caps, we have the tassels, and we have the stars. And if you noticed, I got a little glittery with the stars, so we're definitely going to do that. Okay, some of you are saying you have graduation tonight even as well. Well, if you get busy, you can make this card to bring, right? Okay, I'm going to do stencils, and I typically really like to use pixie spray to hold my stencils in place. If you don't like pixie spray, then I would suggest doing like a removable tape, or if you've got the glass mat, you can hold things in place with magnets too. That's just my preference of using what to use to hold your stencils down. So I've got a 6x6 piece of sugar cube cardstock, and I'm just going to layer that stencil right on the top there. Let's zoom in just a little bit. And this stencil layer we are going to do with Oreo. Remembered to grab my ink stand out today. A lot of times it's usually when I'm creating that I'm like, oh, I forgot to take that out. Oh, Nancy, you already have a card made? You are all set to go. I'm kind of multitasking, and I do that a lot when I have projects. Like I knew I was doing the live this week and I knew I needed graduation cards. So hello, guess what you guys get to do? And I think, you know what? That's how card making works. What do I need and what do I want to make? So that congrats card with the alphabet set, that will go to my daughter's boyfriend. He is graduating to be, well, he is graduated. My words aren't coming out right. He will be teaching middle and high school industrial technology. So that is what he's going to do. He is one of those people, he's definitely a maker, but not like us. But he's always very interested in how I'm creating things and what I'm doing it to make it look like that. He likes woodworking and working on cars and all of that stuff. He's a big problem solver. He'll be great at teaching kids how to do all of these fun things like in woods and metals and welding and that sort of thing. You know, I think I've shared with you guys that I knit, and he's always very fascinated with how that works. Nina's asking if pixie spray has a smell. I don't really notice a smell. I use a really thin layer of it on my cards, but I have not really noticed a smell. I'm also not someone who's really affected by smells. So I may not be the right person to ask, and maybe somebody else who's used pixie spray can share how they feel about the smell. I don't think it smells, and I've never really heard people complain about the smell. Okay, so this is layer number 1 with Oreo to do the caps. Make sure you're getting these guides on the side because that is what's going to help you line up the additional layers on your project. Next we have tassels. Again, I'm just spraying, and I just spray a thin layer on the back, kind of right over my garbage can. Again, I'm going to use those guides to line up those tassels right there. And like I said, St. Cloud State is black and red. So we're going to grab the cherry pop. And we're going to do this layer with cherry pop. This is where you could do your hats in the black and then customize your tassel color to your just a general color like gold or gray or something like that, or do the school color so that they have kind of a custom colored card. Maybe you even just do their favorite color. I think if we did a Tailored Expressions grad card, we'd have teal tassels. Okay. Yep, Paula, I knit. I've been knitting for a long time. My mom is a very big knitter. She's actually taught some classes and stuff. I like nice yarn. I have a nice, healthy stash of yarn. I craft all the things, you guys. Okay, so stencil number 3 is going to be where we're going to add in the sparkle. And before I lay this stencil down, there's ink that's kind of wet here, and I also have that pixie spray, which will leave a little bit of a residue on your cardstock. And so to minimize glitter just sticking everywhere, I'm going to use my powder tool, another use for your powder tool, to just powder over the top of my stamped design. This is going to basically kind of keep that glitter from sticking all over. And I'll show you an example of when I didn't do this, and obviously you'll see what it looks like when I did. So there's your powder tool. We got our ink kind of coated so stuff isn't going to stick to it. And then I've got my last layer with the stars and circles on there, and we're going to line that up. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a layer of the lunar paste. So this is newer in the TE web store, and it's basically like a silver metallic paste. There's all sorts of colors that we carry. So of course, when I found out that we had this, I bought all of the colors because I have to have them all. And Taylor showed you a card, I think was it last week, or I think it was a couple weeks ago, when we started carrying all of the colors of lunar paste in the store. So we carried a metallic paste similar to this before, and then it got discontinued, and so we couldn't have it anymore. So I'm excited that we have this metallic paste to use. And when I've talked about doing glitter on your projects, I've talked about this before. I like to lay down something that's going to match the glitter before I add the glitter, because if I do like a clear something and the glitter is on there, the spaces in between the glitter, you're going to see that white paper behind. But if I'm going to do the silver paste, that's going to fill in those gaps between the glitters, and so it's going to look like a more full glittered image, if that makes sense. Okay, so I've got my Nuvi multimedia spatula. This is my favorite. This one, it comes in a set of two, and I like both spatulas, but this is my favorite, this kind of angled tip one. And we're just going to, I'm going to just take that out of the lid there while I can, and we're just going to spread this across the stencil and fill in the spaces. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the lunar paste layer, and then we're going to take the stencil off, and then we're going to sprinkle the glitter over the paste while it's still wet so that the glitter sticks to it. If you wait too long, this dries definitely faster than the TE Happy Mediums. I still gave it plenty of time to dry. I think I kind of did some searches online just to see, and I know Taylor probably shared more about this, and people were saying about a half an hour. I try to err on the side of give it as much time as you can, because that's the worst thing, is to smear something that you have been waiting for it to dry. So as you can guess, I probably have a magical already made panel ready to go. So I'm just filling in all of the stencil openings with my spatula, scraping that lunar paste down. I love the consistency of this. It's so nice and smooth. It's easy to spread. It fills the little areas just perfectly. You could probably have a lot of fun with this lunar paste, and I probably will experiment more, like mix glitter with it. That's gonna create a really cool look. I'm just trying to smooth out these kind of ridges here over the stars, and I think we're about there. Get that back into the container. Yep, Paula, I definitely do counted cross stitch too. I'm involved. If you guys know Nicole Spore's stuff, I'm involved in all of that. Okay, so let's take off this. So here it is with just the silver stars with that paste, which that's a great look just like that. But of course I have to be extra. So let's take, I've got a piece of scratch paper here, and then we've got the TE glitter in silver. I have not tried the solar paste yet, Susan, so I definitely will have to do that. All right. So I'm just going to sprinkle this across. So this is definitely, if you are not into glitter and glitter messes, this is probably not the technique for you. But I don't mind glitter. It was actually kind of funny. We have somebody clean our house, and she was here yesterday, and I was glittering away down here, and she came down to clean my floor, and she's like, I could not get all that glitter up. And I'm like, it's okay. And she's like, is it okay? I'm like, it's okay. So there's a look at that glitter on those stars, and it just adds that extra, just extra something. I mean, I love it. All right, so let's get this glitter back in the container. And then I'm going to show you, if you did not use the powder tool before you sprinkled your glitter, I'll show you the difference so you can see how much it actually really helps to do that. So take a look at this. Let me zoom out just a little bit. So this is where I did use the powder tool, and this is where I didn't. And I'm sure you can see all of those little sparkles kind of showing up all around all of the pieces. Here's one that's worse. This one actually isn't as bad, but this one was terrible. This one, everything was wet and everything just stuck. And so the powder tool definitely helps keep that glitter, just like embossing powder. It helps you keep that glitter where you want it to go. Nina's asking, what is the paste TE has that can be used with the foil and the mink? And that would be the glitter grab. So it's basically, so you can use it like I did and put glitter on top as well, but it's clear, like I talked about. And I used the silver because it really helps fill in the shapes if you use something similar in color to the glitter behind it. All right, and make sure you wash your stuff because your stencil will get wrecked if you let that paste dry on it too long. Ask me how I know. Okay, so I have, by the magic of TV, well, the magic of streaming, this one I'm going to set aside to dry, and I have one that has been drying ready to go. So this one is all set to go. Here, nice and dry. No, maybe that's the wet one. Did I just swap out the wrong one? Hold on a second, you guys. I sure did. So this one's ready to go, and this one is wet. Good thing I checked. I just checked on one of those little corners there, because that would have been great when I cut it out in my die cut machine. Paula, that's super true. She says, I use the powder tool when making a shaker or an interactive card. The powder keeps the stuff from sticking to the foam. Yes, it definitely does. It helps in that area. I usually remember that when I've got the shaker closed and everything is sticking to the sides. Because that's how I usually roll. Okay, so let's cut this out to use on our cards. So let me grab my die cut machine. I'm gonna definitely experiment more with that lunar paste because I think it's gonna be super fun to play with and play with mixing, like I said, mixing things and all of that. Mixing glitters into it, mixing some of the colors together to see what different effects you can get. Okay, so I have, this is the Mini Stim Layer Stacklets. I think this is the Editions set. And so I'm using the kind of the 5th smallest die from that set to cut out. So I could actually, out of this panel here, I could actually get 2 panels for 2 cards. So let's go ahead and cut out 2 panels because, like I said, I've got a whole pile of graduation announcements up on my board that I will definitely need more cards for. So I'll just cut my panel now and it will be ready to go. So let's line that up and send that through. Oh, Diana, Dawn Power Wash will take that off. That is good to know if I let it dry too long. The one that I let dry was the one that we have, the white snow-like one. That was like cement once it dried. So I ended up getting a new stencil because it just was too crunchy on there. There was no saving happening in that situation. All right, so I'm just gonna, like I said, this is just gonna be cutting out that extra panel so I have another card ready to go. There, so now I have 2 panels. So one stencil layer on that 6x6 piece of cardstock gives you 2 backgrounds for mini slim cards. So that would be even like, not just this one, but other stencils that you might have. If you don't have the grad cap stencil like this and you need to do a graduation card, if you have anything with stars, that would be really, really nice. That rotating stars stencil would be super pretty and fun for this. And you could do the stars and the school colors and then just do one of the layers with the glittered stars so there'd be glitter stars mixed in with all of the other stars. That'd be super cute. And I definitely have glitter on everything, I'm not gonna lie, but it doesn't bother me. So let's see, am I supposed to cut out some other things? Let me think here. I think we're gonna do some embossing next, so let me grab my Misty so we can do some stamping here. So the sentiment on this card is the congratulations from All the Way Congrats. And let me grab I have a piece of black cardstock that I'm gonna do my sentiment on. Let's put that congratulations on there. And then we're gonna powder tool that thing. because we're going to emboss. So we want to make sure that we have our embossing powder to stay right where we want it to. And I'm just going to stamp this with the VersaFine Clair because this is one that stays wet longer, that you can sprinkle embossing powder on top of it. I don't recommend using this with a white embossing powder because I found that it kind of sucks up into the white embossing powder and creates kind of some splotchiness in your embossing. But I'm going to do the silver, that's the glitter. I'm like, this isn't the embossing powder. This one, the Silver Sparkle Embossing Powder. So this has the silver embossing powder mixed with glitter, and it just gives it that extra little twinkle. I don't know if you guys can see that in those letters. There we go, a little bit of sparkle. In the embossed letters, there's just a little bit of extra silver twinkle happening with that Silver Sparkle embossing powder. Okay, so let's ink this up. Like, make sure I've got my stuff hanging out near me here for embossing. Whenever you use that VersaFine Clair too, you don't need a lot of pressure on it. It's a pretty wet ink, and if you put too much pressure on it, it's going to smear all over the place. All right, so I've got a piece of scratch paper, a Silver Sparkle embossing powder. There, you can really see the glitter in there. And let's sprinkle that right on top. This is black licorice cardstock, by the way. It's the nice dark black. Oreo would work well too, but black licorice is just a little bit more of an intense dark black. I always try to put this away so I don't blow my embossing stuff away. Heat up my embossing gun. Come on. There we go. Taking its sweet time this morning. There we go. I should have warmed it up. I did not do that. I thought it'll be fine. So we're heating that embossing powder until it just melts. It gets nice and shiny. This is embossing. We always call it the gateway drug to paper crafting, right? How many of you watched this and that was what sold you on stamping? There we go. There's that sparkly congratulations in the Silver Sparkle embossing powder. All right, let me grab my die cut machine. So we're going to cut this out with the coordinating die, and we're also going to cut an additional layer. So just to make that pop a little bit more on the card, I'm going to cut an additional layer out of that cherry pop cardstock. And we're going to just offset it from behind the congratulations. So similar to what I did the letters on here, I also did on here. And this is such a great thing. Like, let me tell you, when I laid these congrats letters down on this busy background to start with, it was very hard to see the letters because they just blended in with the background. But once you added that red kind of drop shadow to it, it helps pop. So if you have a die cut like sentiment or letters or something like that that are just not standing out on whatever you have, try cutting an additional layer and offsetting it, because that definitely helps set it off on your background to design. Okay, so let's grab that congratulations die, and we are going to set that over the top. What are you guys saying? I'm living on the wild side? I'm embossing over the misty? You guys, I just go. I don't have a whole lot of rules. Susan would not be happy with me, I'm sure. Obviously, you guys are having a fit over there. Okay, so let's line this up right around the sentiment. This is an easy one to line up. And we're just going to send that right through. Debbie's asking why I didn't use Versamark, because this was out on my desk, and so that's why. And actually, when I was originally working on this project, I had used this when I embossed the stars for the other card. So I just stamped this in black and did clear embossing powder over the top of it. So that's pretty much why. You could absolutely use Versamark to emboss your sentiment. You can also use the Nocturne VersaFine Clair. So I did. Okay, so we're going to cut out that one more time from the Cherry Pop cardstock. Julianne, your first embossing, you used a toaster. My first embossing tool, and my mom had bought me a whole bunch of little stamping supplies. I was probably 12 or 13, and the embossing tool was a mug warmer. It was kind of this little square thing with the little hot plate in the middle, and that's what I used to emboss. So you would just hold it over the top of this mug warmer until it melted, which sometimes it took a while because it had to it wasn't super hot. So, but it worked. Okay, so I've got my red and I've got my sentiment. So let's go ahead and we're gonna kind of put this card together here. Let's zoom you down just a little bit more. So we've got our sentiment, we've got our background. So then I have a mini slim card base. This is one that I cut out myself. So this is out of toffee cardstock. And so this is kind of that, I guess we call it the side fold if it was going this way, but it's kind of when I do cards that go this way more often. Sometimes I've done it this way, but this is what I wanted, the top fold on a horizontal orientation card. So you cut your cardstock 6 inches by 7 inches. And then along the 7-inch side, you're going to score a line down that 3.5 inches in. So your finished size of that mini slim card base is 3.5 by 6. Now a top fold mini slim card, you're going to need to buy the ones from the store because it's like 12. You would have to cut your paper 12 by 3.5. And we don't have 12-inch cardstock in our regular cardstock. Now, if you have scrapbook paper that's 12 by 12, you could cut a top fold mini slim card base. But I just order them. They're all folded for me. They're all ready to go. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm embossed without my mini mitts. Yeah, I did. I did. Okay, so I should actually also have a piece of black cardstock. There it is. So I've got a piece of black cardstock here that I'm going to place behind this one. So, and I am going to adhere that directly to the card base with my tape runner. And this is cut out with one of the mini slim layer stacklets. I don't remember if it was from the additional ones or not. I guess I'm not totally sure. I think this was from the regular set. So I think this was this one. I bet it's this one. Nope, not that one. I need to label everything. There's so many rectangles here. I bet it was that other one. So it was from the additional mini slim layer stacklets. Whichever one looks good to you guys, go for that. So we're going to add that on top of there. But I'm going to do the sentiment on here first. So first let's adhere this sentiment together. And like I said, I'm going to offset it so we have kind of a drop shadow on the sentiment. So I'm just going to put a little adhesive on the back here. And I guess the best way I can describe kind of what I usually do is I kind of get it where it's going to be matching up exactly, and then I go up just a little bit and over just a little bit, one direction or the other. So up and over. So I should have some peeking out down there too. So there we go. It gives you kind of that extra little pop around the letters. I've seen too where people will do this in multiple colors and have kind of a rainbow of colors coming up behind there, which looks cool. Another thing that I like when people do drop shadows and they'll use like a glitter cardstock, so it gives you just that extra like pop of sparkle without kind of overtaking your whole image. Look at that twinkle on that embossing powder, so pretty. Okay, let's pop this onto here with just a little bit of foam adhesive. Let me grab a scissor here so I can cut this. This is the thin foam, so this is left over from a strip of stuff that I had. Actually, I'm going to just do this directly down. We're going to pop the sentiment strip up instead of this. Just going to just shake some of the extra glitter off. Glitter can definitely affect how your stuff sticks. So if there's too much glitter happening behind, you sometimes use a liquid adhesive that's going to work better. Zip in just a little bit closer here. Okay, so I'm going to add the strips to the back of this to pop this up on the card base. Just going to fill in this kind of wide gap in here. Typically I would just do a bunch of strips across, but this one is a skinnier card for sure. Or skinnier panel, I would say. Getting all the little paperbacks off so I can stick this down on the card. This is the 1x3 thin foam tape, so it's like 1/32 of an inch tall. I really, really like that thickness. It gives you just a little bit of a dimension without going too much. But it's definitely, it sticks really fast. All right, so let's center this on top of that panel. Like that. And then we are getting close to the end of this card already. So I'm going to add a mini strips sentiment to that. So the mini strips grad card or grad stamp has this assortment. It has "You did it, sky's the limit, congrats grad, so proud of you, congratulations on your graduation. Adventure awaits, reach for the stars, your future is bright, happy graduation day." If you're not familiar with our mini strips, you stamp this all at once. My stamp is very dirty from my black ink. I need to clean it off. And then we have mini strips dies that cut them all out at the same time. You're just going to line your die cut up with the guides and it will cut all of these at the same time. So if you're not familiar with that, it's a good thing. So I'm going to choose one of the sentiments that goes with congrats. I did a bunch of these. Why don't we do the "on your graduation"? Congratulations on your graduation. And it's nice because you can just have your sentiments ready to go. I've seen a lot of people organizing sentiments now that I really like, where you're taking the little cases. I have letter dies in this case, but these are the TE kind of mini cases, and you're making a theme for each case. And whatever sentiment set you're using, whether it be a strip set or another stamp set and you're just putting them all together, like do birthday, and then all your birthday sentiments are in one thing. I really, really like that idea where everything's together in a box. Okay, I'm going to cut some of these little, this is more of that mini thin foam tape. I'm just going to cut some pieces to go on the back here. I could use the sticky strips, the foam sticky strips, but they're a little too tall for what I'm going for here. Peeling that paper back, and we're just going to set that. Make sure I'm even with the bottom. And there we go. So like I said, I did the red and black to match the school colors for the college that I'm giving the card for. St. Cloud State is black and red. And you can do a card like this for graduation with whatever colors to match however you want. What do you guys think? Here's another look at the one that I did with the alphabets kit. You guys, these were really actually pretty easy. This is maybe a little bit more fussy because you're setting up the letters, but this one sentiment put on here, and like I said, when we stenciled that panel, we could get two background panels for a mini slim card out of that stenciled 6x6 layer, which that's good for mass producing if you've got to do quite a few graduation cards. All right, you guys, let me flip you up to the top. My hair is all in my eyes because I'm looking down. So again, thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you had fun, and I hope you're inspired to create graduation cards and also join our TE Maker Challenge for this month, which is creating mini slim cards. I'll be looking forward to see your creations pop up in the TE I can't talk, on the Fans of Tailored Expressions Facebook page. So again, I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks and we'll do some more crafting. So stay tuned for the blog, and make sure you join Taylor next Tuesday for the 4 hand release, so you can see all of the fun things that are coming out for you to create with. So have a great afternoon and weekend, and I'll see you again soon.